The role of reading in language learning. Hi everyone! In this video, I want to share how reading can really help you improve your English. Reading is a wonderful tool for language learning because it helps you learn new words, understand grammar, and improve your overall language skills. When I started learning English, I found that reading not only helped me understand the language better, but also made me more confident in using it. In this speech, I will share my experiences and offer tips on how to use reading to enhance your English skills. Reading plays a crucial role in language learning because it exposes you to the language in a natural and engaging way. Unlike textbooks, which often focus on grammar rules and vocabulary lists, reading materials like books, articles, and stories show you how the language is used in real-life situations. This exposure helps you understand how words and phrases fit together, which is essential for developing good language skills. One of the most significant benefits of reading is vocabulary building. When you read, you encounter new words in context, which helps you understand their meanings and how to use them correctly. This is different from simply memorizing words from a list because you see the words in action. For example, when you read a story, you learn how words like excited, nervous, and curious are used to describe different emotions. This contextual learning makes it easier to remember and use new words. In addition to individual words, reading helps you learn phrases and idioms. Idioms are expressions that don't translate literally, but are used commonly in everyday language. By encountering these in books or articles, you get a sense of how they are used in context, which helps you understand and use them more naturally. For instance, phrases like break the ice, under the weather, or piece of cake might seem confusing at first, but reading them in stories or conversations helps clarify their meanings. Reading also improves your understanding of grammar. As you read, you see how sentences are constructed and how different grammatical structures are used. This helps you internalize grammar rules and makes it easier to apply them when you speak or write. For instance, by reading various types of texts, you can learn how to use tenses, conjunctions, and prepositions correctly. You also get to see how native speakers use idiomatic expressions and phrases, which adds richness to your language skills. Moreover, reading helps you understand different sentence structures, such as simple, compound, and complex sentences. This knowledge is crucial for developing your writing skills because it allows you to vary your sentence patterns and make your writing more interesting. For example, instead of writing only short, simple sentences, you can learn to combine ideas using conjunctions like and, but, and because, or use relative clauses to add more information. Another significant advantage of reading is that it improves your listening and speaking skills. This might seem surprising because reading is a quiet activity, but it's true. When you read, you become more familiar with the sounds and rhythms of the language, which helps you understand spoken English better. This is because reading helps you recognize patterns in the language, such as common phrases and sentence structures, which makes it easier to follow conversations and understand what people are saying. In addition to improving listening skills, reading can enhance your pronunciation and fluency. By reading aloud, you practice the sounds of the language and get used to the flow of sentences. This can be especially helpful if you're learning to speak English with the correct intonation and stress patterns. For example, reading dialogues in stories or plays can help you practice the natural rhythm of spoken English and improve your ability to mimic native speakers' accents. Reading also helps you develop better writing skills. By exposing yourself to well-written texts, you learn how to organize your thoughts and express ideas clearly. You can see how authors use different styles and tones to convey their messages, which can inspire and guide your writing. For example, if you read a lot of stories, you will learn how to create engaging narratives and develop characters. If you read essays or articles, you will learn how to present arguments and support them with evidence. Through reading, you also learn about different writing conventions and genres. For instance, you can explore how persuasive writing differs from descriptive writing or how a news article is structured compared to a short story. This knowledge can help you tailor your writing style to different purposes and audiences, making you a more versatile and effective communicator. One of the most valuable aspects of reading is that it helps you learn about different cultures and perspectives. Many books and articles are written by authors from diverse backgrounds, which gives you a chance to learn about their experiences and ways of thinking. This cultural awareness is an important part of language learning because it helps you understand and connect with people from different parts of the world. It also makes you more open-minded and empathetic, which are valuable skills in today's global society. Reading about different cultures can also deepen your understanding of social norms, values, and traditions. This cultural literacy is especially important in our interconnected world, where understanding and respecting cultural differences can lead to more meaningful and respectful interactions. For example, reading literature from different countries can give you insights into their history, folklore, and societal issues, enriching your knowledge and perspective. Moreover, reading fosters empathy and emotional intelligence. When you read stories about different people and their experiences, you learn to see the world from their perspective. This helps you understand their feelings and motivations, which is crucial for effective communication and building relationships. For example, reading a novel about someone from a different culture can help you appreciate their values and traditions, which can lead to more meaningful conversations and interactions. Through reading, you can also explore complex social and moral issues, which can stimulate critical thinking and discussions. Books often address themes like justice, identity, love, and conflict, encouraging readers to reflect on these topics and form their own opinions. This reflective process not only enhances your understanding of the world, but also helps you develop a more nuanced and compassionate worldview. In summary, reading is a powerful tool for learning English. It helps you build vocabulary, understand grammar, improve listening and speaking skills, and develop writing abilities. It also exposes you to different cultures and perspectives, fostering empathy and critical thinking. Whether you are a beginner or an advanced learner, reading can provide valuable language practice and deepen your understanding of the world. So let's embrace the habit of reading and enjoy the many benefits it brings to our language learning journey. My journey with reading and English. When I first started learning English, reading was a major part of my journey. I remember feeling both excited and nervous as I picked up my first English book. It was a simple story, but to me, it felt like opening a door to a new world. This experience was the beginning of my adventure with reading and English. Over time, I discovered that reading not only helped me learn the language, but also made the process enjoyable and rewarding. At the beginning of my learning journey, I chose books that were easy to understand. I started with children's books because they use simple language and often have illustrations that help explain the story. One of the first books I read was a classic fairy tale. It was a familiar story, which made it easier for me to understand the English words and phrases. This early exposure to reading in English helped me build a foundation in the language. As I became more comfortable with English, I gradually moved on to more challenging books. I started reading young adult novels, which have more complex sentences and a wider range of vocabulary. These books were not only interesting but also helped me learn new words and phrases. I particularly enjoyed reading stories about adventure and mystery because they kept me engaged and motivated to keep reading. One of the most significant benefits of reading for me was vocabulary expansion. Every time I read a book or an article, I encountered new words. At first, I didn't always understand the meaning of these words, but I made a habit of noting them down and looking them up later. This practice helped me learn new vocabulary in context, which made it easier to remember and use them in my own speaking and writing. For example, I learned words like intriguing, exquisite, and melancholy, which I later used to describe different situations and emotions. Reading also helped me improve my understanding of grammar. By seeing how sentences were constructed and how different grammatical elements were used, I learned a lot about English grammar in a natural way. This was different from studying grammar rules from a textbook because it showed me how grammar worked in real-life situations. For example, I learned how to use tenses correctly by reading stories that described events in the past, present, and future. I also learned how to use conjunctions like and, but and because to connect ideas and create complex sentences. Another significant aspect of my reading journey was the cultural knowledge I gained. Through books, I learned about different cultures, traditions, and ways of life. This was particularly exciting for me because it broadened my understanding of the world and made me more curious about other people's experiences. For example, I read books set in different countries and learned about their customs, holidays, and social norms. This cultural knowledge not only enriched my understanding of the English language, but also made me more open-minded and empathetic. Reading also helped me develop a habit of daily practice. I made it a point to read a little bit every day, even if it was just for 10 or 15 minutes. This regular practice was crucial for my language development because it kept me consistently engaged with the language. Over time, this habit became a part of my daily routine, and I found myself looking forward to my reading time. It was a relaxing and enjoyable way to learn, and it made a big difference in my progress. Choosing the right books and reading strategies. Choosing the right books and reading materials is an important part of improving your English through reading. When you're starting out, it's crucial to select books that match your language level and interest. This ensures that the reading experience is both educational and enjoyable. Here, I'll share some tips on how to choose the right materials and some strategies that can enhance your reading experience. One of the first things I learned was the importance of starting with simple books. Children's books are a great choice for beginners because they use straightforward language and often include pictures that help explain the story. These books are designed to be engaging and easy to understand, which makes them perfect for language learners. I started with picture books and short stories, which helped me build my vocabulary and understand basic sentence structures. As I gained more confidence, I moved on to graded readers. Graded readers are an excellent way to gradually challenge yourself because they introduce new vocabulary and grammar in a controlled manner. The stories are usually adapted from popular novels or written to be interesting and educational. I enjoyed reading graded readers because they were both accessible and engaging. Another strategy that worked well for me was reading books that I had already read in my native language. This made it easier to understand the plot and follow the story because I was already familiar with it. For example, I read The Little Prince in my native language and then read it in English. This helped me focus more on the language itself rather than trying to figure out the storyline. It was a fun way to compare the two versions and learn how different expressions were translated. To make reading more effective, it's essential to use some strategies that can help you understand and remember what you read. One effective strategy is to read aloud. Reading aloud helps improve your pronunciation and fluency because it allows you to practice the sounds and rhythm of the language. I often read aloud to myself, which helps me become more comfortable with speaking English. You can also record yourself and listen to the recording to see how you can improve. Another useful strategy is to summarize what you've read. After finishing a chapter or an article, try to summarize it in your own words. This helps reinforce what you've learned and ensures that you've understood the main ideas. It also helps improve your speaking and writing skills because you practice expressing your thoughts in English. You can do this orally or write it down in a reading journal. I found that keeping a journal was helpful because it allowed me to track my progress and review what I had learned. It's also helpful to discuss what you read with others. If you have friends who are also learning English, you can form a book club or reading group where you discuss books and articles together. This not only helps improve your language skills, but also makes reading more social and enjoyable. If you don't have friends who are learning English, you can join online forums or book clubs where people discuss books in English. This is a great way to practice your language skills and make new friends. To make reading a consistent part of your learning routine, set specific goals for yourself. For example, you can set a goal to read one chapter a day or finish one book a month. Having clear goals helps you stay motivated and track your progress. It's also important to vary your reading materials. Don't just stick to books. Read newspapers, magazines, blogs, and online articles. This variety exposes you to different types of language and writing styles, which helps you become a more versatile reader and speaker. Encouragement and final tips. Improving your English through reading is a journey that requires patience, practice, and perseverance. However, it is also a rewarding and enjoyable experience. In this final part of the speech, I want to offer some encouragement and share a few more tips to help you on your journey. First, it's important to remember that learning a language is a gradual process. It's normal to feel frustrated or overwhelmed at times, especially when you encounter difficult words or complex sentences. However, don't let these challenges discourage you. Instead, see them as opportunities to learn and grow. Every time you come across a new word or phrase, you are expanding your knowledge and improving your skills. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and keep pushing yourself to improve. One of the most effective ways to stay motivated is to choose reading materials that genuinely interest you. When you're interested in a topic, reading feels less like a task and more like a fun activity. Whether you're interested in fiction, history, science, or any other subject, there's likely a book or article that matches your interests. For example, if you love stories about adventures, you might enjoy reading novels like The Hobbit or Treasure Island. If you're interested in learning about different cultures, you can read travel blogs or books about different countries. Another tip is to use technology to enhance your reading experience. There are many apps and online resources that can help you improve your reading skills. For example, you can use e-readers that have built-in dictionaries. This allows you to look up words quickly without interrupting your reading flow. There are also apps that offer interactive reading exercises, quizzes, and flashcards to help reinforce what you've learned. These tools can make reading more engaging and help you learn more effectively. It's also beneficial to read a variety of materials, not just books. This includes reading newspapers, magazines, blogs, and even social media posts. This variety exposes you to different types of language and writing styles, which can help you become a more versatile reader and speaker. For example, reading news articles can help you learn formal language and specific vocabulary related to current events. Reading blogs or social media posts can help you learn more casual, conversational language. This diversity in reading materials helps you understand and use English in different contexts. Another important aspect of improving your English through reading is practicing regularly. Try to read something in English every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. Consistent practice is key to building and maintaining your language skills. It doesn't have to be a long reading session. Even reading a short article or a few pages of a book can make a difference. The more you read, the more comfortable you will become with the language, and the more progress you will make. Lastly, don't be afraid to seek help if you need it. If you find a book or an article difficult to understand, ask a friend, teacher, or tutor for help. They can explain difficult words or concepts and provide additional resources to aid your learning. There are also many online communities where you can ask questions and get advice from other language learners and native speakers. Remember, learning a language is a communal activity, and there are many people who are willing to help and support you. In conclusion, reading is a powerful and enjoyable way to improve your English. It helps you learn new words, understand grammar, and develop your overall language skills. By choosing the right books, using effective reading strategies, and staying motivated, you can make significant progress in your English learning journey. Remember to be patient with yourself, celebrate your progress, and most importantly, enjoy the process. Reading is not just a way to learn a language. It's a way to explore new worlds, meet new people, and discover new ideas. So pick up a book, dive into a story, and see where it takes you. Happy reading! Subscribe to the channel if you like this video. Also, watch other video on my channel. The link to the playlist with stories is in the description.